Greetings, demons, and welcome to Collect Corps. This is my review of the LEGO Star Wars 75372 Clone Trooper and Battle Droid Battle Pack, so let's jump straight into it. So, starting off with the packaging, of course, it is that brand new design that we've had, well, I say brand new, since about 2020 for the Clone Wars with the Ahsoka Clone Trooper just there on the corner, and then otherwise the standard gold bordering for the Clone Wars sets. This set, of course, includes a bunch of minifigures, 3 standard Clone Troopers, 1 Clone Shock Trooper, 2 Battle Droids, and 3 Super Battle Droids, which are a new mold, so we'll have to look properly at what the differences are there. But otherwise, on the sides, it's the LEGO Life stuff, and on the other side, you actually get a picture of the Octodroid, which is very nice. On the top, you have your Shock Trooper, as well as the legalese, and on the bottom, more legalese, and the barcode, of course. Otherwise, on the back, mine is unfortunately a little bit damaged just due to this store, but we do have a nice action shot showing all the set combined, as well as some of the play features, including the flick-fire missiles up here, and the stud shooter, along with the fact you can take the shields off of the barricade, which is very, very cool. But in any case, that is everything for the box. Let's get it open and get it assembled. So, in the box, you of course get bag 1, bag 2, and of course bag 3. And surprisingly enough, you actually get 2 little manuals here. So we have one that seems to show, well, it shows the main vehicles, I suppose, or the vehicles and the figures. And then we have one separate for the Octodroid. That's really surprising to me, especially for a set that is this small. Of course, £25 in the UK, I think $30 in the US. It's interesting to me that they would actually split it into 2 sections. It does make it so that if you have 2 kids, or if you're trying to build it with your kid or something like that, it does make it a lot easier. But of course, online manuals exist. That's how I've been building things with my partner for a while. But yeah, in any case, let's get built up and see exactly what everything has to offer. And starting out with the minifigures, of course, we have to first go with the brand new reintroduction of the Phase 2 Shiny, and this is an absolutely excellent figure. Obviously, using the 2020 design, it essentially has the exact same torso and legs as the Phase 1 Shiny that we've already got, and yeah, just with that clean Phase 2 helmet. In terms of back printing, it's all the same stuff we've been seeing for quite a while now, and of course, the head printing underneath, if I can actually, is, yeah, just the standard clone that we've had since 2020. Very, very nice. You do actually get 2 of the standard blaster, as well as 1 of the longer rifle with the candle piece, which is pretty standard at this point. And just to compare, this is the... oh, I'll take off the blaster for him. This is the 212 from the ATT, helmet holes included, which is also on here. And yeah, as you can see, matching style there. And then just for the sake of comparison, we also have an original 501st Battle Pack, no helmet holes, 501st Trooper, which, once again, matches pretty much exactly with the design philosophy of the new figure, which is very nice to see. Moving on to the next clone figure, and that, of course, is the Shock Trooper, or Coruscant Guard, depending on who you ask. And by default, this guy does come with the small hand pistol, as well as the binocular piece, which is very nice to see, and very much feels like a reference back to the original Clone Trooper Battle Pack from all those years ago, which also had a Shock Trooper and the vibro binoculars. But yeah, in general, this is the exact same as we saw in the Coruscant Guard gunship, helmet holes and all. And yeah, overall, a very nice design. Once again, working straight off that original Phase 1 and 2 design from 2020. And yeah, some very nice, bright red highlights, which is really good to see. I was, kind of worried it would turn out more pink, especially, with it being printed on white. But in this case, it's worked out perfectly. And yeah, I'm very, very happy with how it's actually come out. So yeah, 2 very, very cool new Clone Troopers. Well, new to me. I'm sure plenty of people have got the Coruscant Guard gunship already, but I haven't. And once again, just for comparison's sake, here we have him next to the helmet hole-less 501st, once again, and the helmet hold 212, which, yeah, all the characteristics are there, all of it matches, and it's just very nice to see. And just for the sake of completion, there's the Phase 1 plane as well. Love to see it. I also like that all the helmet designs are the same in terms of the visor design and everything. It makes it pretty consistent. This one's slightly different, actually. You know what? I never noticed how different they are until I compare them like this. Fair enough. So, moving on to the droids, we of course get two of the classic B1 battle droids. These are the same as we've basically always seen. The only slight difference that's ever been made is the hand, but that's been a case for, what, going on 15 years at this point? So, of course, this is just a standard B1 unit, and he does have the new, or not that new, but he does have the alternate colour, the gunmetal, for the blaster, which is now the standard across all battle droids, which I like to see that they are actually mixing it up, make it so that they're not the exact same as clone weapons. It does make a difference, and I quite appreciate it. But yeah, in general, just the standard droid design, and nothing really to write home about. It's good to get two of these, especially with the stab that we'll come to in just a moment. But yeah, in general, nothing really to write home about. And that leaves us with the final figure for this set being the updated B2 Super Battle Droid. And this thing is excellent. It's been, I think, over 5 years since we last saw Super Battle Droids in a LEGO set, and by the sounds of it, they basically just destroyed the old mold. So everything here is slightly updated, if not fully updated. Obviously, some exceptions are going to come into play. Unfortunately, I don't actually have any of the older design of Super Battle Droids to hand right now. I don't actually know where they are. I checked my Droid box, and there just aren't any Super Battle Droids in there, so I'm sure I'll find them eventually. I'll put a picture just here on screen, just so you can compare them a bit visually, even if you can't compare them directly. And I do actually have a Commando here, which has the same leg piece, and you can see it's slightly different, ever so slightly. The clip is slightly longer, it seems, but otherwise they look pretty much identical. Obviously, this shares more in common with a B2 than, a B1 than a B2, but yeah, the legs, at least, are a nice comparison to make. Otherwise, this guy is excellent. Of course, in that gunmetal design that we also saw the guns in for the battle droids, and yeah, still hollow on the back, which is kind of disappointing, but I do get it. It's important for the mold to be able to breathe, especially when there would be no other access point for the mold to flow. And just in general, it just looks absolutely excellent. I love the extra little detail you can see just there with the little dot. That is something that was not there on the original design for the B2 battle droid. And just in general, I prefer this design so much more compared to the old one. It's such a step up in design, and I'm very excited that you actually get 3 of them in this set. And hopefully we'll actually get things like the rocket arm back, which was a really nice variation that we actually saw from the old mold. And yeah, hopefully these ones don't break as easily, because I think potentially the reason why I'm missing my Super Battle Droids is because most of them broke in some way. So hopefully these are less prone to that. I'm hoping, just based on the feel of them and the fact that things seem to be a little bit thicker, that we might see them break less, which I'm hopeful for. But yeah, an excellent new figure, brand new molds, and yeah, just very nice to see. So, starting with the builds, I'm going to go from the smallest thing to the largest, and that obviously means starting with the little crate that you get. So this is as far as I'm aware, a new design that we've actually never seen in a Star Wars set. Obviously, these parts have been used plenty of times in other themes, but if we open it up, which it is just a 2x2 with one stud plate on the present piece, which we've seen many times, I don't think we've ever seen it in grey, I may be wrong there, but we do have a thermal detonator inside. Obviously, the packaging does show that this can be used by both sides. I would just personally, I'd lean on this being a clone item personally, but, you know, you can use it either way when you're playing or displaying or whatever. But yeah, that's the first one. Moving on, it's arguable what the next smallest thing is, but I think I'm going to go with this barricade, and this is a pretty interesting build. Obviously, very derivative of that classic clone battle pack, but yeah, I'm not too fond of these sorts of builds in general. I wasn't too fond of it when it came to the Snowtrooper battle pack, and yeah, this one isn't anything too special. Of course, as a stud shooter on top, you can remove that if you wish to give that to a clone or even a droid if you really want to, which is kind of neat. That obviously just fires off like, like so. There we go. And you, of course, also have the 2 shield pieces, which can be removed, and they actually do suggest taking them off to give to one of your clones. So obviously, you just put them in the hand like so, and you can just rotate to fit how you actually want them to hold it. But yeah, it's a very nice little item, and I guess we may as well also do the stud shooter in the hand, just to see how that looks. But yeah, in general, nothing too different from what we've seen before. It's nice to actually have options like this. But yeah, in general, the actual build of it, it's fine. It's a good use of parts, but I just don't really care too much for it personally. I think if I end up getting more of these, I won't be building too many of these, or I might be building them into something else, something a little bit substantial, more substantial at least. But yeah, still, very nice little build there. Moving on, we can go actually over to the droid side this time for the next biggest, because we have the Stap, and this thing is excellent. I'm a huge fan of Staps. One of my favourite sets, unironically, one of my favourite sets of all time is the very small Stap polybag from years ago, and this is a very nice variation on that. So, of course, it doesn't have any stickers or printing or anything, which a few people have made the complaint that it should have. I personally don't think it needs it. I think this is personally perfectly, decorated and everything. I love the use of the old foghorn piece, the megaphone, or what some people may know it as, the original Star Wars blaster piece. And, of course, the flight stand means that you can just kind of place it down. Looks like it's floating. Looks very good like that. But, yeah, otherwise, a very nice design. You can obviously raise or lower the top bit. Don't know why you would want to do that, but it is an option, as well as moving the, I guess, jets, I guess. Or maybe blasters. I'm not sure. These are definitely supposed to be the blasters, but I don't know what these are supposed to be, really, in universe. But yeah, you can move those for playability if you want, or just posability, I suppose. And, of course, you can then take one of your B1 battle droids, which I didn't show this during the minifigure section, but one of them is built slightly different with two of the curved arms and a clip on the back for the blaster. And all you can do, just take the hands and snap them right on like so. And yeah, you've got your battle droid on the Stap. Looks very nice on there. And just in general, I really like Staps. I really like the look of them. Oh no. And I really like dropping them apparently. But yeah, just a very nice little build there for the, the droid army. Very, very cool, and I'm very excited to get more of these when I get more of the battle packs. Definitely a highlight of the set for me. So put that one over there, and we'll move on to back over to the clones, because we do, of course, have their speeder bike. And this one, I'm going to be honest, I'm not too fond on the overall design of this. Of course, more stud shooters, so once again, I don't even know where that second one went, but yeah, two stud shooters. Oh, it didn't even fire. That didn't even. I've never known one not actually fire through. Let's try that again to see if have I put it together wrong? I may have assembled this incorrectly, because, or maybe I've got a misshapen. I don't know what's happening. It's not firing for some reason off that one, but yeah, in theory they both should fire. I don't mind play features like that. I actually think they're quite useful. But it does kind of take away from the design, and the design isn't great to begin with. It's very bulky. I think it's very tall for what it is. Of course, you do have two blasters on the back. These are just the blasters from your clone characters, so you can, of course, put them on the actual speeder bike there. And I'm not going to put the hands on the handlebars because it's really awkward to do so. But you can, of course, put one on either side. You can have one operating the weapons while one flies, which is a very nice look. As I say, I just think it looks a little big, especially off the back of things like the 501st Battle Pack Speeder. That one, I know it's a Bark Speeder, so a different design, but that one is larger but doesn't feel big. You know, it feels pretty correct. This one is small, which is fine, but it also just looks really thick. And I don't know why it is, but yeah, some very interesting part usage. This is obviously the candle piece that you use on the long blasters. And, yeah, just in general, not a bad little build. But once again, just like with the defense post, something that I'm probably not going to build too many times over. But still, not too bad. And finally, we have, of course, the Octo Droid. And this thing is absolutely excellent. Very imposing. Like, you just compare it to everything else we see in this set. It is just so big, like, just droid for comparison. It is massive, and I really like this. So I do actually have a comparison to make with this one. So I do have, alongside the one from this set, I actually have the one from the Umbaran Battle Pack, and as you can see, size-wise, I could probably lower this one a little bit. They're comparable, they're very similar. Actual overall design, I'm actually shocked at how different they are from each other. Obviously, the legs are the main point at which they differ. The new one has much larger legs, the old one much smaller legs, but also just in the construction of the head, I didn't realise how different it was, because obviously this is the same dome piece between the two, but everything below that, completely different, as well as the fact that this one, the flick fire missiles which are in this one, they are actually not part of the main structure. So if you want, first off, I guess we'll just... I'm really bad with this. I'm really bad at flick fire missiles. I've never known why, but yeah, okay. So that one fires off, and as you can see, that then just opens up the hole, and it doesn't actually take away from the design to just remove the flick fire missiles. Like, that looks perfectly good, and it still has its eye stalks, it still has all that sort of stuff. It still looks absolutely excellent, whereas the old Umbaran one, if you took that out, it basically loses its eye stalks, which isn't ideal, but yeah, that's a clear comparison there for this one being the better designed of the two. And in general, this is excellent. You have a little bit down here that allows you to move the head around, which is a really nice feature. I wish more things like this actually had this feature. Obviously, it's something that we see in ATSTs a lot. But yeah, I really do like the fact you can do that. You can obviously adjust the legs as much as you want. Quite a few points of articulation on those. It's a shame that you can't, like, rotate them this way, but I realise that that just wouldn't be possible at this scale. But yeah, overall, just a very, very fun build. And as repetitive as the legs are, it's definitely worth it for just how imposing this thing is, especially for a battle pack build. And so here we have everything for the set. There's actually quite a lot on offer here, and surprisingly, the battle droids appear to actually be doing a lot better than the clones in terms of just raw numbers. But at the end of the day, this is a clone battle pack with a, droid battle pack attached to it. And yeah, as a combo pack, this is excellent. As a clone battle pack, it's fine. It's lovely getting the new clean P2s, as well as another way to get shock troopers, a little cheaper. And of course, when it comes to the droids, the Octodroid is excellent. The new Super Battle Droids are brilliant. That STAP, that STAP is amazing. And just getting more B1s in general in sets is always nice to see. If you're wondering about the spare pieces, we actually have quite a few. Nothing really too special. We do get an extra thermal detonator, which is just falling down my palm there. But yeah, an extra thermal detonator is included. You get a spare blaster. You actually get enough arms to be able to make both of your B1 battle droids hold their blasters, which is nice. Otherwise, it's just a lot of very generic pieces, but still nothing to complain about there. So, on that note though, that is going to be it for this review. So, with all that being said, this has been my review of LEGO Star Wars 75372 Clone Trooper and Battle Droid Battle Pack. It is honestly an excellent set, well worth picking up if you're a fan of the Clone Wars, or just the prequels in general. If you're a huge fan of clones or droids, no matter what side you're on, this is a win, in my opinion. It is full of excellent figures, full of excellent builds, even if the clone ones are a little bit lacking, in my opinion. But overall, this is well worth the price tag, and I'm very excited to be able to get 2, 3, maybe more than that, more of them in the future. But in any case, that's going to be it from me, so I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like it, subscribe if you're new to it, and ring that bell so you never miss an upload. Otherwise, it's going to be it from me, and yeah, bye! So, in the box, you of course get bag 1,